Hey guys, Tony here. Welcome to the video, and in this one we're going to go over my brand new setup that I'm about to start, which is a 7.2.4 home theater setup. Now it's going to have Krix speakers all around, it's going to have a 100-inch screen, it's going to have a ceiling mounted projector, brand new Valencia theater seats, and a whole bunch of other things like lighting, smart controls. I never thought I was going to be able to do that in this space. My wife had told me there was no chance she was ever going to let me cut holes in the ceiling to put Atmos. So this is the reason that I'm allowed to build this room upstairs. This is Frankie, and she was the price that I had to pay to the wife to let me redo the room. But let's get back to the video. But here we are. Yes, I do feel very spoiled because I do have a dedicated 9.4.6 home theater system with a Trinov and Krix speakers, but this one is just going to be more of a casual space, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to make a video so that I can show you some of the constraints, because this is a normal house. This is a normal room. There's things like a stairway and then bedroom doors, which kind of in the place that you might want to be putting speakers. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to overcome these little obstacles. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the video. Right, so the first thing that we'll go over is the room. So we have a standard upstairs living room kind of situation, which is open on one side with a stairway going down and a corridor with bedrooms and bedroom doors and linen closets. So unfortunately for me, the doors are all in positions where you may want to put speakers. So I'm going to overcome that by using floor standing speakers and then positioning them close to the chairs, and then when I'm ready to watch something I can just move them out. May not seem like ideal to everyone, but this is my way of overcoming that situation. So the room is actually pretty decent size. It's 4.1 meters wide by 6 meters long. Now I'm only going to use about 4.5 meters to the seated position, which is perfect because then I can place my speakers a little bit behind. I've also got these horrible windows here, which are giving me nice lighting right now, but you know, during a movie, they're not ideal. So I'm going to create some acoustic panels similar to the ones that you see here where I'm pointing. Basically, I'm going to make them and then slot them over the windows. So that will be in the part 2 video. I'm not going to bother treating it more than I just described with some acoustic panels over the windows. I've already got a couple of acoustic panels there, and also I have nice thick carpet. So that will do a lot for absorbing the sound. Other than that, I'm not going to try and push my luck that far with the wife and put up any other acoustic panels, because I think she'll pretty much draw the line there. Let's go over some of the choices and some of the things that you're going to see in this project, and I think you might find them very helpful. So as mentioned guys, I do have all of the gear that I need to build out this room. And one of the biggest pieces are the 2 chairs that you see behind me, which I just received from Valencia Home Theater Seating. These are the Grand Barcelonas. Now these are a crazy chair. They are so big and heavy. They weigh over 90 kilograms, and they were absolute mission to get up here. I actually had to hire 2 guys off Airtasker, and they had to bring a 3rd person to bring them up. It's only going to have a single row, this room, and yes, 7.2.4, so I will have the correct angles for the overhead speakers, the Atmos, at 110 and 70, and it would just be a really cool experience from this seated position with recliners. I got rid of the 2 lounges that I had here before. So this is one of the biggest and most expensive pieces of the puzzle. So thanks Valencia for sending them. I can't wait to get a whole bunch of use out of them. So the plan is I'm going to install the Krix VORTEX, and I'm going to show you that in a little bit. I'm going to unbox it and show you. This is an absolute tank of a center speaker. Absolutely love this center. I installed it at my best mate's place when I set up a little setup for him. And yeah, it's just an amazing center speaker, really powerful, and I can't wait to set it up because I'm going to be getting rid of the ultra short throw. So yes, I still will be able to do reviews up here with the ultra short throw if companies still send me their ultra short throws. That's the Caceres A6, really good, beautiful triple laser picture. But I am going to be ceiling mounting the JMGO N1 Ultra that you see there. I just bought the dedicated mount for it, which you can see there. And that mount makes it look stylish while it's hanging off the ceiling. So it kind of meets the wife approval factor. So another thing I forgot to mention is I am also going to have this HDFURY VRROOM in the chain. This is going to give Dolby Vision through the projector and also allow me to have 8K and other cool things happening, even though I don't have anything 8K, but that's what the VRROOM will be able to do. So I am doing a full review. I will leave a link up above when that video goes live. I'm going to add it to this video. But you can see having an ultra short throw, I have the current center speaker quite low to the ground, and I want to get away from that. And I will have the VORTEX on a speaker stand on top of that TV unit, aiming up a little bit just to get the angles right. But my plan is then to also drop the 100-inch screen down so it's just above the center speaker. So everything's going to be really nicely measured and well thought out and well planned so that everything lines up perfectly. So the screen is the Elite Screens Aeon CLR, ceiling light rejection. So I do have to see whether or not it will work with the JMGO N1 Ultra because it will be ceiling mounted, so it may block some of that light, but it's got 4000 ANSI lumens, so the brightness should be able to take care of that. I will be keeping the Krix LYRIX Gold towers, which you see there. They're 20 years old. I covered them with Duratex. They look amazing. They look like a modern speaker, I think, anyway. They just sound so good. There's absolutely no reason to replace these. You know, they just, I think, fit the space really well. They match the subs, which are the Krix SEISMIX 3 Mark 7 subwoofers, and I have 2 of them. And these things are absolutely crazy. The amount of bass that they pump out for the size of them, you just, yeah, you gotta see it to believe it. Anyway, moving along, the rest of the speaker configuration is going to be on the surrounds. I'm going to be using these Krix triptychs, which are actually a discontinued speaker. They were discontinued a little while ago and you can't buy them, but I found a set of 5 of them on Marketplace, and what they are essentially is the Krix Symmetrics speaker. So if I take off the cover, that driver set might look familiar to anyone that has Krix speakers or has seen Krix speakers, but it's inside a really nice little cabinet. And what I'm going to do is, where you see these Krix acoustic speakers, they're actually going downstairs and the stands are going, and I'm going to wall mount. Now you can see I actually tried the wall mount there for a center speaker and it worked out really well. So I'm going to take that mount that I made and I'm going to put it over here, and then you'll see these ones here that I have on the stands, they will stay where they are. They will go backwards a little bit, but I will mount the other Krix triptychs on the wall. And you might wonder, you can see there's some ugly cables hanging down there. You might wonder, how am I going to get the cables? Because unfortunately, I can't even run them through the ceiling, because inside the ceiling, you can't actually pull the cables down through the ceiling because there's beams there and the electricians have told me there's no way to get them down. So what I'm going to do is use ghost wire. And what ghost wire is, it's this tape with a decently thick gauge, but it's flattened out. And I'm going to run them from the back there all the way around to the side, and they stick onto the wall, and then you can paint over them and you can't see them. So that's what I'll be doing, and then I've got to try and figure out a way of hiding these power points and cables. I might use some conduit or something like that, maybe put something there, don't know what yet, little unit with some DVDs or something in there just to hide it, and that will go around to the back. The rest of the speakers that we have are the old school, they were called atmospherics. They're now called the IC50s. So these atmospherics that I got, I bought them on Marketplace because originally I wasn't going to spend any money. I was just going to try to use what I had, and to a large extent I am using what I have, but I did need the VORTEX and also 2 IC50s, because I decided if I'm going to do it, I might as well go .4 overhead. So my good friend Mick from Sydney Hi-Fi in Mona Vale hooked me up with that, and you can see this receiver over here. That is the Yamaha RX V4A. Very, very capable receiver, but it's only 5.1. So I, again, was not intending to spend any money here. However, I basically made the decision to go with the Yamaha A8A, which is the flagship Yamaha receiver. Because I thought, if I'm gonna do this, I might as well just do it good and proper and not waste any money by buying things and having to rebuy again later. Because that's one of the biggest things and biggest issues that happens on home theater journeys, is having to spend more money because you made a bad choice. So that's the receiver that I'm going to go with, and essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the receiver where that speaker is. And there's holes at the back so I can feed all the cables, and I can put some AC infinity fans in there just to suck out any hot air so there's no hot air buildup. And eventually probably go with a power amp. I know Yamaha do some awesome 11-channel power amps, so I might look at something like that as well. In terms of other things, I've also got lighting. So you can see here I've got the Govee gaming light strip. That one's actually not going to be installed here, but you can see underneath it you've got the Govee AI gaming sync box. Now, the reason you see that is what I'm going to do is something a little unique and something that I haven't seen anyone do. And that is I'm going to put some panels behind the screen. It's basically going to be some timber paneling, and I'm going to paint them in the same color that I painted my theater room downstairs, which is Taubman's Black Fox. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to gap the screen to come out a little bit, and then with that sync box I'm going to wrap the LEDs around to the size that it takes, which is 85 inches, which is a bit smaller than the 100 inches. And then the screen will mount on top of that. But what that means is then I'll be able to get the LEDs to shine out and create a nice effect across the panels. And that's the plan that I've got. And I'm hoping that it works. You'll see in the part 2 video whether or not it worked, because the panels have arrived and I just have to install them on this back wall, and that will all be in the part 2 video. So for further lighting, I'm also going to install the same downlight fittings that I have in my dedicated room. So they're LYRIX GU10 bulbs with a little directional piece, and the electrician is going to install them, and we're going to have 4 of them up in the ceiling. So that will be my opportunity to have some cool lighting effects. And then I also have some of these bigger bulbs, and you might see I have them in the lamps over there, and I'm going to position the lamps so that all the smart control and the lighting can be done so it's like my dedicated room. For that, it's going to be a Harmony remote control. Now the Harmony remote control will sit on this armchair. I'm still looking for one. I want to get the Harmony Elite. So my buddy Ben is on the hunt. He's really good at finding bargains. So he's looking for me for a Harmony Elite, and then I'm going to use that to control all the lighting. I'm also going to be removing this hanging lamp because obviously it's going to get in the way of the projector when it's ceiling mounted. So I'll just have to patch and putty that one up and paint around it. And then of course, these overhead speakers are going to go in the correct angles. So once I get the proper placement of these chairs, we will go at the 70 degrees and the 110 degrees so that we get nice effects from the seated position. As I said, these Krix acoustics, which are in Blackwood, they match my setup downstairs, and they will be going to finish off that setup downstairs. So I've got some surrounds down there as well. So before I finish the video, I'll give you a little treat, and I'm going to unbox the Krix VORTEX on camera. I absolutely love this speaker, and it's an absolute weapon. It's a tank. It's so heavy and big, and it's going to be the centerpiece of the new setup. So let's get on with the unboxing. Got this cool knife from my friend Andrew. I'll see if I can get links in the description to this. The thing with Krix is they always package their speakers meticulously. A lot of attention to detail with how they do their packaging. So foam warranty, more thick foam. This really protects it. Like, that is really thick foam. So even if there's impacts, I'm pretty sure they would absorb a lot of it. Oh yeah, it's very heavy. The other cool thing is this plastic is designed not to create hot spots by rubbing. So plastic and other material, when they rub on a surface, can polish it, so you can get hot spots on the finish. I've been told by Michael from Krix that they have a special plastic that's designed not to create hot spots onto the surface of the speakers. So this one is in black vinyl. You can get various finishes. The ones downstairs, I have the new Phonics and Epicentrics. They're in Blackwood. So you can see this one here, absolute tank of a speaker. I'll take the cover off, so everyone knows I don't like grills. Look at that. It's an absolute tank. Cannot wait to have this mounted and in use. So yeah, I'll go over the specs of this in the next video when I'm showing the speaker off. You can see, look at it there, it's quite heavy. Look at the back, got these beautiful terminals. I've always been impressed with the Krix terminals. Very nice. Looks like you can bi-amp these as well. If you have a power amplifier, you can bi-amp these and get even more juice into them. That's the speaker. pretty cool. You can see in terms of scale how big it is and where it's going to go. It's a big speaker. So I can't wait to get that in, and it matches the other speakers as well. So you can also see here, this is what else I'll be adding into the setup. We've got the ZIDOO Z9X and also the Apple TV 4K. That's going to take care of pretty much all of my needs, all my streaming, as well as playing anything from my dedicated library off my NAS. And that's going to be hidden away inside this TV unit. This is pretty much just going to be clean. You can see I've also got the PS4 Pro over there. So this whole top will be clear. And what I will have is this beast of a center channel, which is the Krix VORTEX. So that's going to go on the top where the Caceres A6 laser TV is at the moment. So guys, that about wraps up the video. Make sure you drop a like on it. Make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss the next one, which is the build video. And yeah, just stay tuned. If you have any questions, drop them down below. I think I'm going to include pricing for everything that I do in this room in the next video. Take care, and you'll catch me in the next video. Bye for now.